Right.
Break it. You're gonna break it. No.
Go
It's
ahead.
actually in the middle of it.
Take the Sharpie.
Because the extra tear is in it. And it's got the tear there that you did by accident that I thought you'd done wrong.
I'm going to teach you all how to do this trick right now. But before I do... Alright, Kaylee, before we begin, I'm going to hold on to the Sharpie, put it in your pocket, and give the deck a shuffle.
Okay.
Okay? Shuffle it until you're happy.
Really
We might be
them
here
all
a
then.
long time. Good? Happy? It's not that important that the deck shuffled.
Say that every time.
I just wanted to keep you occupied, but you can see there's no duplicates, there's nothing suspicious about the deck. Yeah, it's all good. And there's no stack. Kaylee knows
I know
what the sum of stack is. So go ahead and just say stop wherever you like.
Stop.
Right there.
Yeah.
Take that card, look at it. You can show it to everyone, actually. I can see it as well.
There we are.
Doesn't matter.
The King of
All
Spades.
good? King of Spades.
Yeah.
Good choice. Do you have that Sharpie?
Yeah.
What you need to do is go ahead and put like your initials or something in the middle.
Oh, that's a dead one.
Oh, is it? Hold on. Okay, we'll do this instead. What if we mark it with a tear or something?
Okay. Yeah. Oh, I feel like it's gone wrong.
It's all right. Well,
You've got thousands of Sharpies in the
I
blooming...
can't see it. I need to tear this side instead. Sorry.
Oh. Yeah, it definitely has gone wrong.
No, it hasn't. Well, I'm gonna try and tear it like a unique way at least.
Okay.
There we are.
All right.
Cool. Okay. Perfect.
I know that's mine.
Go ahead and show everyone on the camera that your card is unique to you.
Yep.
And nobody else. Good.
Yep.
Perfect. Hold on to the receipt as well. Don't let that out of your sight. My phone's ringing. Sorry, that shows how prepared we are. So watch the card. Don't let it out of your sight. I'm gonna try and do something amazing with this.
Okay.
It's actually a good thing that we've torn the corner off. It's gonna help me. I didn't think about this, but I want you to see that magicians can palm cards, right? So I can palm that in my hand.
Yeah.
Like that. And actually, because the corner's missing, I don't know if you can see at home.
Oh, yeah, you can't.
It means I got more space. So my hand looks kind of empty.
Yeah.
Right, but not a very good thing. So I'm going to try and do something like a little bit of a cheaty move. I'll do it face up. So
Okay.
I want to make sure everyone can see. Do it face up.
Yeah.
But now you can see the corner really helps sell that illusion that there's no card in my hand.
You can't even see it.
Yeah, you literally can't even see it.
No.
Right?
Yeah.
So what I mean is you literally can't even see it. Watch.
It's gone. You little sneak.
It's not in the deck. It's genuinely gone. But it doesn't go very far.
Yeah.
You remember earlier? Yeah, hold on to that tight. You remember earlier I gave you a Sharpie?
Yeah, the one that didn't work.
Go ahead, take the Sharpie.
Don't tell me it's working again.
No, watch this.
Oh.
I'm going to do this up here. No switches. Right.
Break it. You're gonna break it. No.
Like one card inside the Sharpie. Go
It's
ahead.
actually in the middle of it. Oh my god.
Take it out.
Ink
Take the Sharpie. Open it up. Show the camera the card.
It is mine because the extra tear is in it.
Everyone
Hang on.
Can you guys see it?
Look.
Does it match? Yeah, but look at that corner.
That is exact.
Hold it up. Does it match exactly? Like perfectly?
Look, right on there. And it's got the tear there that you did by accident that I thought you'd done wrong. Oh my god, that's so good.
That's it.
That's really good.
And you were holding that the entire time from before the trick even began.
Oh my god, I love that. That is a really, really good trick. That is a really good one to do in a bar.
Yes.
I'd love.
This is a good trick in general.
That's amazing.
So I'm going to teach you all how to do this trick right now. But before I do, marks for, is it a Fula?
Yeah, I think so.
You were holding this the entire time. There's probably elements to the trick which you couldn't work out, but then there's elements of like, that is the actual piece, that is the actual corner for real.
Yeah.
And that was in your hand from when we began. So Fula, yes or no?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah? Genuine?
I think so.
Yeah? Entertainment?
Oh my god, 5. Easy. Easy 5.
Creativity?
definitely a 5. I think you get a bonus point for creativity because
It's
never.
not my trick. It's not. I don't know whose trick. This is just.
I'd never ever
card in
think
Sharpie.
to take a Sharpie apart and have a reveal in. But that's so great.
Yeah, it's not my idea to put a card in Sharpie. This has been done for decades and decades.
That's
just my
really
hand
good
doing
though.
it.
I love that. I love it.
It's so cool, isn't it? And then so entertainment 5, creativity 5, bonus point.
I gave you a bonus for creativity, I think.
Yeah.
I think it's quite creative. I think the reveal is the best bit. And that is insane. How you... It's got to be...
Sure.
I'm trying to figure it out.
What's the bit that's got you stumped the most?
This bit here has definitely made me think, well, it's my card because you ripped it that side and then you ripped it this side. And that fits exactly. And I've been holding this piece since it was ripped.
All right. Well, I'm really glad that the bit that's fooled you the most is that, because that's the bit that you picked up on.
Yeah.
That's really got you stumped. That is the important part of this trick. This is the bit that I've sort of added to it a little bit.
That's brilliant. It is a really, really good trick.
All right.
I think I've got an inkling of how maybe it could work.
Well, let me tell everyone how it works. I'm going to teach you all how to do it right now, and then you can watch along. So this is the full explanation. Before I begin, I get a duplicate card, so a matching card, and I put a tear. I'll show it the back side because it's easier to see. I put a unique tear in the card, so as you can see, this is kind of like a step, right? So that's a very recognizable shape for the card to be torn in. But the important part, and this is the most important part of the whole trick, and I'm so glad Kaylee picked up on this because this is my thinking on what sells this so well. Is that I also put an accidental tear, all right, in the card on this side, and I track where that is. I aim to tear down to the angel's hand on the back of a bicycle card, right? So I do that, and then I take a Sharpie, which Kaylee's holding. I very carefully take it apart, and you don't want to do big bends in it to get it apart because it'll snap the grey plastic. You want to do it very carefully, take it apart. I remove the inkwell.
Very carefully.
And and then I roll this up lengthways, like this way, and place it in, which we'll do right now in fast motion. So now that's painstakingly placed back in. You want to make sure that that is in tighter than the cap is on, so you can like stamp it on the table. But what I've done to the ink, the nib, is I've put super glue on it, so it's not going to work. It's completely doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what you do with it. It's not going to write. And this is the reason why you put the tear in the card. So this builds into the routine. It's all these reasonings and convictions that you need to make this really sell well. Okay, so that's the setup. Oh, and the torn piece that you've torn off, that goes in your pocket, all right? And it goes into a part of your pocket where you can feel for it. So I put it in my pocket towards the back. So this piece that you've just torn off goes into your pocket, and all will become clear in just a moment. So now the routine begins. You come up with the Sharpie and you hand it to your spectator. You say, please look after this. We'll come back to it in a moment. And I had Kaylee shuffle the deck. People just like it being involved. I just quite like the fact that Kaylee as a spectator had something to do.
Yeah.
The king is in the deck somewhere. So she shuffled. Give me a quick shuffle. And then as I'm showing her the cards are all regular, normal. There's nothing fishy about them. I'm just spreading through until I find the king and I cut it to the top. I don't care. But it's just that act of getting Kaylee involved. It's sort of, if she was having a conversation with someone or she was doing something else, kind of she's broken away from that and she's in the moment now.
Yeah.
Now I just force the king.
I knew there was a force.
Yeah.
That's what I knew. That's the only thing I was certain
So
of.
force the king, riffle force I use in the video. In reality, you don't even have to use a force. I was very tempted just to be like, look, shuffle the cards, we'll take one out. It doesn't even matter. Like, I don't care about this as a force or anything. Now comes the important part. I say, Kaylee, can you take out the Sharpie and sign your name in the middle of the card? And
this is where it doesn't work. Ooh.
Can you open it?
Yeah, now I can.
So, I know it's not going to sign you, so I say, Kaylee, go ahead and sign it. Oh, it must be out of ink or something, right? Which is great. I say, put it away. I think we'll do something different to it instead. We'll mark it in a different way, unless you've got a Sharpie on you.
No.
I don't. And then what I do is this. I from my side, I'm going to tear down to the angel's hand where the accidental tear is going to be. So I whatever reason you want, I just say, look, we'll tear the card in like a unique way instead. I tear down to the angel's hand, And then I look, for me, I was like, oh, actually, let me do it on this side so you can see it's a king. So then so it's like I've started here and then I changed my mind. And I want to talk to you after the method, just to explain why I think this is so important. It's like completely important, and even possibly more important than signing a card in other routines as well. Now I'm going to duplicate as best I can the matching tier, so I just remember to put that same sort of step in it.
Yeah.
And you'll all have your own way of doing tiers uniquely. Some of you will, the way your hands move and the motions you have will help you do something repetitive, so you can like repeat tier. It's not perfect, right? But I just tier it like this. I hand the card to Kaylee, and I say, and at this point, I just give her any excuse to sort of look at the card for a few moments.
And this is where I thought it had gone wrong, because he'd already started and then he tore it on that side.
Yeah.
So I thought, oh, he's done it wrong.
So exactly.
So that's twice I thought it went wrong. The first bit was the Sharpie, and the second bit was the false tier.
And all these things are going wrong and making it feel like genuine accidents. Yeah. Their accidents are more unique than things that are seemingly done on purpose. Like if I folded that into quarters and tore it up into perfect quarters, that could have been done before.
Yeah.
But the fact is like, let me tear the other side. Sorry. That feels so much more unique, right? Yeah. But I have this piece in my hand and I need to switch this for the piece in my pocket. So what I say to Kitty is, go ahead, take a look at that card. And if it's just a one-on-one situation, then you can say, I want you to like note some of the interesting details and how I've torn it. Don't mention the accidental tier, because that's what they're going to pay attention to. That's the bit they're going to focus on more. But try and make them focus on the shape of the other tier, and it'll all become apparent in a moment. But if in the case of this, I said I'll show the camera. And if it was in real life, I'd say show it to everyone. I want you all to have get your hands on it and have a real good look at that card. As they're doing that, I'm literally just putting my hand, and you'll probably see on screen, I put my hand in my pocket and I swap the pieces. Like that. I literally just, this is the piece in my pocket, I put my hand in and I swapped it out. Literally bold as brass. So which is the piece now? Which is the piece that doesn't fit? Yeah, so this is the piece that I've just switched to my pocket. Any excuse you can to get them to hyper-focus on the card, show people, do something. Don't forget, it doesn't even, no one's looking for a switch. Like this switching of this is nothing. You could just put it in your pocket and put it in your pocket, bring it out the other piece secretly. You could put it in your pocket and be like, oh, actually, you know what? You can hold on to this. Like, it doesn't matter about this being switched at the moment. This is not important right now.
No, this bit is the important
This is important. This is not important. That is, yeah.
Yeah.
So I say, do you know what? Actually, hold on to this as a receipt.
Yeah.
Okay? No one cares. No one cares. So, now I need to make this card vanish. You can do any vanish you like. I used my variation on Alan Ackerman's Ultra move. I'm not going to teach that. That's a whole nother thing. You could do things like you could place it on top of the deck, do an Erdnase vanish really terribly, whatever you want. You could like throw it away. You could do anything you want, make it vanish. You could do like a Tenkai thing where it's gone and then show your hand empty, whatever you want. Make the card vanish. I just use this sort of like rubber dub type Ultra move thing. But this essentially is gone. So for me, it was hidden underneath the top card of the deck. All right? This doesn't matter. This is going to go away. People aren't going to give a flying about this in a couple of moments' time. So that goes. Now I say, remember before you began, bring out the Sharpie. And the reason I did it for Kaylee is because she could just be there all day taking the cap off. But I just kind of a knack to it. But then at this point, they've got the piece safe. I make sure it's all at the fingertips. This is so important to be at the fingertips. Otherwise, they think you could do something dodgy, right? Yeah. But you start to open it. That's it. As soon as it's cracked open just a tiny bit, just enough so you can see the thread. Trying to get that focus. Slowly milk this moment for all it's worth. Let them see there's a card inside. Like that. And then you just want to present it to the spectator. Now, at this point, I think I spoke too much. You kind of just want to shut up. Just shut up and let them connect all the dots. So many magicians love talking too much. I think I did as well. I talk too much. But saying this in retrospect, the best thing you can do now is openly as you can, just let them take it. Let them connect the dots. Let them do everything. If they figure it out for themselves that it's all part of the same ecosystem, like that it's the same card, that the corner matches, and then they point out the accidental tier, which is what Kaylee did, if they do all that on their own without you guiding them to it, then they convince themselves that it's a miracle.
Yeah.
So then they open it up. It's nice that it's got this ink blotch on there because there's no way that card could vanish and that quickly be stained.
No.
Or it could, obviously, but like it just seems much more authentic. Let them match the piece up so that the corner piece matches exactly, and then wait for them to go, oh, and there's even the accidental tear. There's even the fake tear, which is exactly what Katie did. Open it up. Show the camera the card.
It is mine because the extra tear is in it. Hang on. And it's got the tear there that you did by accident that I thought you'd done wrong.
Because
predictable.
For me, that is where the magic lies in this entire effect. Although the card ended up in the Sharpie they were holding, that's the whole trick. It's that tiny tear, which was an accident, which sells the entire trick. And it doesn't have to be a tear. You can do other things, like you can have them you could have a mark in, like when they first sign the card. You could have a little bit of ink that you've placed on top of the super glue, so it marks it a little bit, and you could sort of try to aim to have that smudge there. It's basically an imperfection, an accidental imperfection that you want to place onto that card to match it. Maybe there's a smudge in one of the pips, and you do a matching one, and you can use a bit of acetone from nail polish remover. There's so many different things you can do. I love this accidental tear. It feels so much more authentic than doing it in other ways. Mm-hmm. And I kind of prefer it to sign the card. And the whole thing is, it makes sense then that the Sharpie's in play, but they haven't signed it, but it's still unique.
And you also, as a spectator, once it doesn't work, you think, oh God, he's messed up, I'll just hide that. And that's what I thought. I thought, oh God, I'll put it in my pocket again and no one will know.
Yeah.
But actually, that was the trick, and it was in my hands the whole time.
Yeah, so it's a reason for you to hold on to it without signing the card, but having the card marked in a way which I think is more... It feels more unique, that accidental tear. And then, let me change to the king side. Mm-hmm. That's the bit that takes it from, how did he get my card in there, to,
oh my God,
that's magic.
It is my card, yeah.
So anyway, I hope you all enjoyed that. I didn't do the Sharpie in card first. It's been done for decades and decades, or Sharpie in other objects. It's like Bill and Lemon, many different variations of it. This is just my little routine that I put together, and it's mainly focused on this idea of putting an accidental tear in the card. I've been playing with this concept for a while. I'm sure I'm not the first. There's probably many more that have done it. But go off, practice it, perform it. And this is one of those tricks that, you can just preload it in a Sharpie, go to a bar or wherever you're going to go, coffee shop, friend's house. And it's, I think it really, really creates a lasting memory, and it's a really powerful trick.
I loved it.
Cool. I hope you all enjoyed today's performance and tutorial. And as always, if you want to see way more magic and way more tutorials, then don't forget to hit the
subscribe button.
Oh, boom. Perfect. See you guys in the next episode.